Now, let's cut our fringes and start brushing it and shaping it in the way we want to. So firstly, I have a few long fringes. So I'm going to cut it a little short in the shape I want. So I'm roughly doing like a shape like this. If you like to keep your fringes straight like this also, you can. Then you can cut a straight line. Basically, cut all the chords at that one level. The shape I'm going to create is this shape. Now, however long you want your fringes to be, say suppose you want it to be about 4 centimeters long. So I'm going to just cut all my chords at roughly at a 5 centimeter mark like this. So I'm going to cut it a little longer first. So I have the liberty to go shorter. If I directly cut short, then I don't have the liberty to get the length back. So first I'll roughly just cut all my extra chords shorter so that I have less brushing to do. Otherwise, what's the point of putting in so much time and effort in just brushing? So, however you want your fringes to be, however long you want your fringes to be, cut it a little longer than that. I'm just going to remove the, just going to straighten out the flap, okay? So I can concentrate on the fringe part only. Yeah. Now I will cut all the cords. That's it. So now I've cut my fringes. I will now start brushing it and then I will shape it up again in the perfect V shape like this. But after I'm done brushing. Now, because I'm using twisted cord and the best way to brush twisted cord is to open up each cord and remove and separate the 3 cords from one another so that the brushing step gets easier. So I'm just going to open each cord and then brush all together. If you're using single strand, you can directly start brushing. Once you've opened up all the fringes nicely, it's time to comb it. Now the brushing process will get very fast. So I'm just going to take my comb and I'm going to start brushing my fringes out completely. Till all the cords don't open up very well, keep brushing. Now once you've brushed out your fringes, do you see the fringes are a little wavy in nature? You like the wavy look, you can keep it as it is. If you want to straighten out, you can use a hair straightener. I'm going to use a hair straightener and show you how that also looks like. Now I've taken my hair straightener and I've put it at a medium temperature, not too high, not too low, okay? Because you'll burn the cord, right? At the end of the day, if it's too high, you'll burn the cord because it's cotton material, right? So don't keep it very high, keep it at a medium temperature and you can straighten your fringes out. Now don't hold at one spot for a very long time and then move, okay? Hold and keep moving, hold and keep moving. Do you see? Nicely straightened out. First I'll straighten it out, then I'll brush it out again. Do you see the difference between these and these? Yeah, it's not compulsory. Again, it's optional. After I've straightened it, I'm just going to brush and check once again. How's it looking? If any straightening is required, you can still straighten it out. I can see this is still wavy, so I'm going to straighten out the middle part also a little more. Awesome. And it's all straightened out really well. Now it's time to cut the V shape also in a sharper fringe. Some chords are longer, some are short. It's not in a straight line. So now it's time to cut it into a straight line. So I'm just brushing it one last time. Okay. Now see and finally decide how long of fringes you want to keep. Okay. So I'm just going to shut my bag again and I'm just finally seeing how long of a fringe I want to keep. So finally I want to keep something around 3 centimeters of a fringe, okay, throughout. So I want to cut a line at 3 centimeters. You decide however you want to keep it. No compulsion. So roughly at around 3 centimeters, I'm going to cut my line. Now, how to cut a nice precise line? Let me show you. Let's open this up again and let's get the flap down. Okay, I've just opened it up, okay? Because I want to cut this well, right? So I've opened my flap up and I'm just turning it around. Now I'm just going to use a masking tape. With the help of a masking tape, I'm going to create an outline in the shape I want to cut. So I'm going to leave about 3 centimeters. I'm going to put my masking tape also at the 3 centimeter mark. So it creates a nice outline and a border for me. You can even use a cello tape if you wish to. If you don't want to even measure it, you can directly tape it without any measurement also. Like just by seeing how thick of a fringe you want. Something like this. So basically this outer line is where we are going to cut, not the inner line, this outer line. So I'm roughly just going to check how much is 3 centimeters before I apply my tape. So somewhere here. So I think at around 3.5, I'll put my tape, okay? Here. So in case if I want to then go shorter, I still can. So roughly I'm putting my tape here like this. One tape here. I'm taping it throughout, through and through. And I'm going till the outside of my fringe. So here. So I'm starting also from the outside of the fringe and I'm ending it also out of the fringe. I'm not starting it on the fringe and ending it on the fringe, okay? Now, this much I even want to place here also. I can see a little difference. I can see this is broader, this is narrower. So I'm just going to adjust it before I do the cutting itself. Yeah, this looks okay now. I'll do the same thing even on this side. Now, even after you cut it with this, you can still go a little and correct it. Okay, that's why I'm leaving a little more space than I would like in case I have to still correct it. Even from this side, I'm just applying a tape in the similar thickness. And now, I will start cutting from here till here, and then I'll start cutting from here till here. The entire line I will cut. So I'm cutting the outside, I'm not cutting from the inside. If I cut from the inside, my fringes will become really tiny. So I'm just going to open this tape up a little so I get a grip, and I'll start cutting this. Little, we can even edit it later. But at least this will give you a rough bottom. Okay, I'll do the same thing even on this side. So cut it on both the sides. Now we'll just remove the tape and see the look. And this is the fringe. Now I can see little cord is left to cut here. So I'll just brush it out again once more. Now whatever little extra I can see, I'll just cut it with my free hand itself. Super. So this is how I've got a nice straight line. Easy way to get that. Now let's see the final thing. Let me just shut the bag. And you can comb the fringe again and just see how it's falling. You want to go shorter on your fringe, you can. So after you see this, if you feel like going a little shorter, you can. You can leave it this much also, totally up to you. I'm just going slightly shorter on this. And this is looking good. My fringe is around 3.5 centimeter right now. Awesome. Now let's shut this. Let's close the bag. Let's see. Yeah, this is the inside of my bag. My button is done. My fringing is done. Awesome. Cutting it. And now I'm going to just make my strap of the bag and then we'll attach it to the bag. So let's get on to the strap part of the bag.